Welcome to where we homeschool. So when we come downstairs, my little kindergartner comes down here and this is his wall. This is his calendar wall, and he comes and he puts his little numbers on and he counts how many days he's gone to school and he adds his numbers there. So we kind of do a tally system, number blocks, so he can learn about placements and stuff like that. And then he comes over here and he fills out the weather and tells us what the weather is for today and what the seasons are. And he has a chart here to kind of help him see what those are. Over here, we have our little reading nook. And while I'm working on some kids, then other kids can come over here and they can put in a little DVD and listen, or CD, and listen to some of the books on CD, or they can pick a book off the shelf. These kind of are geared more towards things that we're learning about that month. And then they write their spelling words on the windows or wherever, so those are quite messy. We have our science, we've been learning about planets, so we kind of have that there. Over here is our social studies or our geography, and we've been learning about the United States, so the kids each have their individual maps, and yeah, that's our map. And then this, of course, is our board where we do some of our together learning. We are right now we're working on spelling rule number 6 from The Good and the Beautiful. And yeah, so we come up here and the kids each take a turn practicing the spelling words. And our calendar, which helps us kind of keep things organized in what we do. Yeah, so this is where I keep my stuff, my organization of things that I need to look into or want to work on. And we have our flag, so we can do the Pledge of Allegiance right here. And yeah, so here's our closet, super messy, but it keeps all their supplies. They have a section for language arts, section for math, and yeah, all of our other stuff mixed in there. So there we go. Okay, so our typical day of homeschool usually starts at 8 a.m. If the kids are dressed and have eaten and are ready for the day by 8, they get to have their blanket with them. That's their privilege for being up and ready. The reason we start at 8 is I have a high schooler. He goes to high school and he has to be at school by 8, and a daughter in junior high, and she also has to be at school by 8. So we figured if the whole family can flow together, then that's awesome. And we usually start like on the couch with my homeschool kids. We'll read stories and snuggle together on the couch, and then talk about essential conversations, little things that we can work on to become better. And then we all come together downstairs. And this is what our typical week would look like. Like Mondays is our we do our language arts and our math, and then we come over here and if we can finish that, then we have more time to focus on PE, science on Tuesdays, music lessons on Wednesday, history on Thursday, and then a Spanish class on Friday. And that is our typical week. This is how I make homeschool work at my house. I know it's not easy to figure out when and how to do chores and when and how to tell them what to do without being too bossy, right? So I have a reward system with tickets, and we have 2 tickets. One is one that I know they can work hard. This is, I see they can work hard ticket, and if they're working hard and trying their best, then they get a ticket. And then this second ticket is if they complete everything on their to-do list, then they get that ticket. And I put it on there just so that they can see I believe in them. And then if they finish it, then I sign it on the back. So they have it with my signature on the back. Then they use those tickets to buy, which this is totally picked over right now, but we go and find toys at the beginning of the year, things that they might want to earn tickets for, and they work really hard to get those tickets, and then they can use them for that. So on my chore, like an example of some of the things I have, this is the chore chart for the jobs that they need to do in the home: making their bed, tidying their room, combing their hair, brushing their teeth, just simple things like that. Nothing too crazy, just an idea of what they need to do. And then they each have their own individual school chart, and that goes math lessons, language arts, spelling, memorization, goal setting. And then each day has a specific something, and it usually goes along with our PE and science and music and what we do there. I even made myself a chore chart so that I can remember, because I don't always remember to do my chores. So then the kids can see that I'm working on my chores as well. So that's how we make homeschool work. Okay, so this is what we use in homeschool. So with math, I have a 5th grader. We explored a ton of math. We started out the school year with my math. Didn't love the program. That's the program the elementary school is doing. So we were just trying to follow what they were following. So we got rid of that one. Didn't like it. And then we turned towards Singapore math, which we have loved the Singapore math program. They have really awesome ways to explain math to kids. But she needed more independence with her math than having me teach it. And so we did Khan Academy for her so she could feel independent. And then we add to her Khan Academy by adding other math skills, finding what she needs to work on. And then with her, we do language arts. We do the good and the beautiful, which we do with all of our kids. We do a typing with her, and from the good and the beautiful as well. And then with all of our kids, we do handwriting with the good and the beautiful. And that's just an example of some of the handwriting that she has done. And so for my 3rd grader, he also did some handwriting with the good and the beautiful. And his math that we worked on was Singapore math. He did also some of my math program. And then we did the good and the beautiful. This is we worked up level 2 with him on that one. And over here we did math, good and the beautiful with Porter. And he loved the good and the beautiful math for first grade, kindergarten-ish. And the good and beautiful language arts with Porter. And here's his little journal as well that he writes in. For science, we've done a lot of the good and the beautiful. We love the good and the beautiful. They have so much great stuff already prepared, so I don't have to prepare anything. So that's our science unit. We put it in this handy little notebook so we can go through each week and know which one we're on. And that's really easy. We love to teach from picture books. For our history, we've used Beautiful Feet History, and they teach a ton from just storybooks, and the kids love storybooks, and they even have some little video clips in there and questions and making food from the area that you're talking about, or just different projects and activities that you can do for each of the topics you're talking about. We've been memorizing our states, and have had fun with that. And also Good and Beautiful offers the Constitution, and that's something we want to address is the Constitution. Again, we love teaching history through picture books. So we just buy a ton of picture books that we find online that teaches that history. And then some little supplemental math. We just find little math stories or activities and read those here and there. So the reason I started homeschooling was because I started to notice this pattern in our family as my kids were all starting to go to different schools, that they were buddies at the moment when they were in school together, in the same school together, but as they started going to different schools, then their relationship would kind of suffer a little bit. And so when I got to my 2 youngest children, I realized that my youngest and my second to youngest wouldn't be in the same school at all until high school, and that really was hard for me. And so I longed for them to be together and to learn together. And so through different experiences and through different feelings that I had, I really yearned and longed for that. And so over time and through our experience with COVID, we were able to bring the kids home and realize it was doable. So we took it on and we loved it, and I love watching my children learn together. I love the joy that it brings when when they can learn new things and I can learn right alongside with them. I've seen them just laugh together and play together and say we're best buddies, and they're constantly talking about the things that they're learning, and that brings me so much joy. And also I love how they can learn on such an individual basis. They can learn things at their level and not be pushed beyond what their level is, but they can master those things and then move on when they're ready. Or if they're learning at a faster pace, then they can move on at their faster pace. And so that brings me satisfaction as well, knowing that they're learning at the rate that they're meant to learn at. So I'm so grateful I've had this opportunity to homeschool my kids.